Hey girls! This is on period. We are
Alex, Hannah,
and Violet.
and today we'll be talking about dress codes. But first, just for a quick little story time. So, in my school, like a couple years ago, I think I was in maybe 7th grade. This is the end of the year. So there was this. So the dress codes were like really, really strict. Like no midriffs, you can't dye your hair, no like piercing, like no second piercings, you can't show your shoulders, you can't show your boobs, you can't show your stomach, you can't show anything below your kneecaps. It was really, really bad. And so one day, this absolutely brilliant girl, oh my god, I love her so much. She has a special place in my heart. Wrote an article for our school newspaper about the dress codes in this school. So, okay, she kind of she bent the rules a little bit. She interviewed some of the people that had been dress coding, like everyone, like all the time.
Yeah.
And one of these was I think it was maybe in his late 40s. Another one was a woman in her late 50s, maybe, I'd say. And yeah, an old guy. And so she wrote the article, and oh my god, was it powerful. She talked about how, like, this dress code only, and I mean only, like, is so targeted against women, and how shoulders, belly buttons, and literally any part of our body should not be distracting. And that if it is distracting for them to be, get distracted by, like, any part of our body, that is their problem.
Yeah.
And like how, we should be teaching guys to focus on what's going on, with what they're learning, instead of just flat out just looking at someone's boobs.
And by putting the rules in place that tell us to cover it all up, it doesn't teach the guys to look away. It just teaches them that it's okay to be distracted by them.
Right. And mind you, that the girls in this middle school, 10, 11, 12, 13. These are children, these are children that you are sexualizing.
Yeah.
So that's basically, in a nutshell, that's what was in the article.
Yeah.
And then my school decided to answer to it.
Oh.
Yeah. So they they made a full 2-page long article about how it was not, targeting women on. Okay, so literally the first thing that they said was stating the dress code. The this page long dress code. It was long. It was embarrassing. It was disgusting. Then they proceeded to talk about how amazing they are at their school and how this. Oh, and then what really pissed me off was how they said that you have to do this to keep a professional environment. Oh, really? How about you be professional and literally not stare at 12-year-old girls' boobs?
Yeah.
And so, obviously, because our school did not like that, or at least the students in the school didn't like that, they rebelled, and they they told the head, and eventually the head, sent everyone an apology letter, and they got fired. So I'm very happy about that.
Love that. Alright, in England, we have full dress code, but not your dress code where you get to wear your own clothes, and then they just have to fit a certain policy. We are all wearing identical clothes, and it's button-up shirts that go right to the neck with collars, ties, blazers, skirts, and then or trousers. And we have to wear black socks. We're not even allowed to wear white socks. But one of the main things that is really bugging me, we used to be able to wear skirts that came up to mid-thighs. So when you stand up, how your fingertips, if your skirt was below your fingertips or on line with your fingertips, you were allowed to wear it. But now they have to be on or below the kneecap, and in their letter that they sent out was, like you said for your one, to remain a professional, sustainable and safe environment. And I was to do that you need to teach the guys not to be doing that, not change our dress code. And now what's going to happen is every girl I've talked and spoke to in the school about it, they're all moving to wearing trousers, which is fine. Trousers are great, but when it gets to summer and sometimes 30, 40 we had last year degree temperatures, Celsius was Fahrenheit.
Like
Hot.
90, yeah, like very scorching hot.
Like very warm. Like we were gonna be in trousers, sweating and getting heat stroke. Like I remember a girl last year who fainted on the school field because school told her she couldn't wear her shorts that she was wearing for sports day, so she had to change into jogging bottoms in her PE kit, and she fainted and got sent to hospital.
Wow.
I know, and just because we can't have our knees on show, but the boys can literally wear whatever they want and get away with anything. Like boys have their shoulders out and like strappy, like you know what are they called, like
Wife beaters.
okay, you call them like
Yeah, that's what they're called.
and like they can run around on the field doing that, or like even taking their shirts off. But if a woman was to even show like her thigh or her shoulder, we would get sent home or get like sent to like lost and found to get a jumper. And like it's crazy that we have to wear these like things, and like I don't. Obviously, it's not so much directed towards women because we're all wearing the exact same uniform, like girls and guys. Like we all have shirts, blazers, ties, everything like that. But like they chase girls up on their uniform so much more.
Yeah, and I definitely think that clothes are like a form of expression. So like
Exactly.
wearing the same thing every single day can get a little bit boring.
Yeah.
You know? You know what I'm saying?
We're not allowed jewelry. Like, if you have any jewelry, like if you walk into school with jewelry, they tell you to like tuck it into your shirt, take it off. You're not allowed watches unless they're like a plain watch. No dangly earrings, literally just a plain, like not even jeweled stud. You're not allowed anything more than just one in that. You're not allowed your nails done. Like nothing like that. And shoes. You're not allowed to wear like trainers or coloured laces, or you're not allowed to have pins on your blazer unless it's one of the school pins that they give you. Like you have no freedom of expression.
Wow. So like literally bland clothes.
Exactly. The only difference between you and the person next to you is if you're in a different house, you get a different colour blazer and tie.
Wow.
That's the only form of expression, but we don't even get to choose our houses. So, there's nothing.
And what about your school?
Well, this past year was probably the worst. I got like really like into like my self-expression through clothing, and I had multiple teachers pull me into the hallway and say, "Do you have a sweater? It's really distracting." And I asked, "Who's it distracting to?" And she said, "You know who you're trying to distract, so don't even tell me." And it was just like the audacity. Yes, a female teacher.
Female teachers would do something like that.
Right.
And she was like, "Well, you need to cover up because your shoulders and your cleavage are gonna be a problem." And I was like, girl, bye. It was like shocking. And then I had another teacher tell me that I needed to tie like something around my waist because apparently my butt cheeks were hanging out when there was a girl sitting next to me, mind you, wearing the exact same Lululemon shorts. She was just flat in the butt. So like, why is it's also so, dress codes are so discriminative against different body types.
Right.
We all wear like the same shirts, like they're button-up plain white shirts at school, right? And they're just completely fat, completely like shapeless, just square things with your shoulders like this. Completely, just everyone has the exact same generic same ones. You can buy them on the school website. But this girl, in like the middle of summer, so like June time, I think it was like 20 degrees, 23 degrees out. I think it's like 80 or 70 degrees in
Just
literally, because she's like got a larger chest. This guy teacher walked past her in the corridor and said her boobs looked too big in that shirt and they were too distracting, and made her put a hoodie on in like 23 degree weather.
Yeah, like especially girls that have curvier bodies get so many more looks in leggings. If a flat girl whose body goes in a straight line wore leggings, no one would say anything. But if a girl who has maybe a bigger butt or wider hips wears it, it's like, oh my God, it's the end of the world.
Yeah, like excuse me for having like, you know, those kinds of genetics.
Exactly, like it's not something I chose. I didn't do like Build-A-Bear to my body. And then also though, like especially them talking about how, like when in my health class, when we talk about rape, we talk about what you're wearing. How stuff you wear can instigate the fact that someone's gonna rape you. Why is what I'm freaking wearing gonna affect whether or not somebody, guy or girl, wants to rape me? Completely rob me of any dignity I have.
Yeah, like why can't why can't they just think for like 2 seconds that maybe it's the person committing the crime? Maybe it's their fault.
Exactly. And you're going to talk to all the girls about it, but not talk to the guys. What about the lessons aren't girls cover up or girls wear something more filled with dignity? How about guys don't rape the girls?
Yeah.
And I don't want to like say that guys don't get raped, because some guys do get raped. But it's so much more common for a woman to get raped and then herself get blamed for it. Like I, as a person who has been like sexually assaulted, the first question that the cops asked me was, what were you wearing?
Same. Pajamas.
I was wearing my baggy sweatpants and a huge sweatshirt. Why was it my fault? This weird guy came up to me and touched me. I didn't do anything. So when is it going to stop being about what the girls are doing, and when is it going to start being about what the guys are doing? Because it's not like the guys are innocent.
And the fact that it's getting taught by like schools and stuff, like you said, it's in your class, that they're being like, one of the questions and like things that they put out there is how what you're wearing has to do with it. It doesn't. It's completely that person, and completely the fact that like, and half people don't report it because if you report it, it doesn't get taken seriously. So like clothes have nothing to do with it. It's bad people and bad environments and bad upbringing who need to learn to control themselves.
Yeah, and then they'll be like, oh yeah, boys will be boys. Also, just a little like statistic fact. You're right, men do get raped, but one in this is just a statistic. 1 in 4 women get raped. 1 in 17 men get raped. That is a
Huge gap.
huge gap.
That becomes billions of people, millions of people different.
Yeah.
Like,
Not even if every woman has been like raped. I can bet you that sexually assaulted, like, I don't think guys realize this, but technically, even talking about a girl's butt is sexual assault. Especially if you smack it.
yeah.
Oh.
I don't know why guys think it's okay. Oh, well, it was looking fat.
Like,
Like,
a guy came up
dude.
to me and asked if he could grab my ass. Bear in mind, I didn't know this guy at all. And I was like, no, of course you can't. Like, what kind of a question is that? And he was like, well, you were wearing those trousers, so I just assumed. And I was like, excuse me? This is a random guy on the street. Probably like, I think I was like 10 at this point as well.
Oh my God.
And he was like 15. I was just walking home from the bus stop. And I was like, what on earth? Like, no, it's not my clothes, bro. You need to take a chill pill. And like, your parents need to teach you some manners and some dignity.
Yeah, and why is it always because of the girl? Like, I realized this a lot with like the Andrew Tate stuff. When that was all going on, you know, you would talk about how, well, if you're wearing it, you're asking for it. If I'm wearing what? My pajamas or my baggy clothes? If I want to show my cleavage, I can show my cleavage. And if I want to wear leggings and I have a big butt, I'm going to wear leggings with my big butt. If I want to show my shoulders because it's hot out, I'm going to show my shoulders. Why does it always have to be what the girls are doing? I mean, I've seen guys in my school get dress coded. It's not like I've never seen a guy get dress coded. So many more girls get dress coded. All of my friends, out of every girl I talked to at school, all of them had been dress coded at least once.
Yeah. And like, this is kind of adding on to what you're saying. Like, if I'm going to wear what I'm going to wear, it is for me. And I'm not trying to impress anyone else. This is my, form of expression.
Yeah.
This is me, like, wearing what I want because I think it looks good on me.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't get ready every single day if it if
It
it's
made me feel good.
yeah, if it didn't make me feel good, if I were just to like do it for someone else, which is why this is kind of going back to school. I think there was this one time I was in maybe 6th grade. I got dress coded for like wearing, I think it was like one of the, it's almost like a wife beater, but like it's just and
Oh, yeah, I think I know.
you know what I'm talking about. She was like, who are you trying to impress? Like, what boy are you trying to impress? Girl. Not trying to impress any boy. I'm trying to look in the mirror right now and say, oh my God, girl, you look so
I
good.
think it shows something as well because like they always go, it's boys. Like, which boy are you trying to impress? Not which girl you're trying to impress. They always know that it's not girls that get like some of them are, but it just shows that it's a majority of guys that are like attracted to the cleavage and to the arse and not to the person. Like, they never assume that it could be anyone else. It's always the guys that they assume.
Yeah,
And it just shows
and
that they know it internally. They just don't want to admit it.
yeah, and it's like really popular for guys to wear like boxers that go down to like the top of their knees and then shorts. A lot of guys in my school do that. If a girl were to wear like pants or shorts that showed her underwear poking out of it, we would be completely and like utterly just shamed, shunned.
Is it a thing in America? Because I don't know about that. But like
That's a thing.
In England, everyone wears their joggers down to here, the underwear here, and they stick their hands in their underwear and walk around.
Yes, guys do that, and they sag. Guys around my school sag. If a girl sagged, like pulled her pants down and showed her pants, boxers, underwear.
Especially if she stuck her hand down there.
Yes, guys hold their hands by their crotch. We would get ugly looks, ugly words, and guys just walk around and do it and no one says anything.
Yeah, no, the school admin would literally have a seizure if I like just.
Yeah.
Even if you girls put their hands in their pants.
Yeah. Even if they don't put them in and they just rub that area. Like.
Exactly. But like, guys get so many excuses for their actions. Girls get zero.
Yeah.
And like, I'm like, I want an excuse to wear whatever I want. I want an excuse to show the body that I like. That's what stems a lot of the body negativity and how girls feel about themselves and their bodies. It's people constantly telling them, you can't do that with your body.
Yeah. And
Why? Who are you to decide what I do with my body?
Yeah. And then, like, you know, the people will be like, oh, well, boys will be boys. No. Okay. Boys will be boys means, okay, a guy will literally just, I don't know, like, play soccer and, like, I don't know, kick up. I don't know what guys do. And boys will be boys is not.
No, it's them being energetic and them being, like, loud, not them being, like, abusive.
Yeah. Boys will be boys is definitely not assaulting people. Okay? That is just that's just humanly wrong.
Exactly.
And then school systems literally, like, they're just like, oh, well, it's whatever. Oh my God, you're school. You're supposed to be teaching them to do the right thing. What are you doing?
And a safe place to us. Like, we're expected to go there every single day for, like, basically our entire childhoods. And if we can't feel safe in those places, how does that make us feel going into an environment on our own?
Exactly. Like, that's mainly the reason why I moved to an all-girls school. I was scared to keep going to a co-ed school. Boys had gotten so scary to me that I just couldn't do it anymore.
So, yeah, so, like, as an all-girls school, do you still get dress coded?
We have a strict dress code, but it's kind of like understandable. It's not like you can't show cleavage. It's like you can't show an inch above the nipple. And you can only wear tops that go to the top of your belly button. And you can't wear ripped jeans, which I'm not like totally upset about because I can understand that.
Yeah.
But like that's not, the dress code is so much more inclusive.
And like, when you get to college in England, which is
11th and 12th.
yeah, it like you get to wear your own uniform unless you go to a private school or like your own clothes, and their like dress code is professional clothing items, right? So people will literally show up in like professional clothing items which you could wear to very many places in the workplace, and male teachers will still be like, no, change, and it's like they're wearing like a normal top. Like, what's wrong with it? Just because it's a slightly tighter fit, it's professional. That's what the dress code says. And they're so just, and it's not like it's actually written in there. They're just like, I don't like this, so you're not gonna wear it.
And I think that, you know, maybe like schools are like the main, I mean, at least one of the main causes that women especially aren't, you know, confident in their own bodies. This is kind of going back to what you were saying earlier. This is why women, like, you know, kind of, okay, I don't want to say that, but like, they're just like insecure because they're worried about like what other people are going to say to them that's going to drag them down even more that they've already been dragged down.
Well, like, I have a pretty, like, alternative style. Like, not in, like, an emo way, but more in, like, a hippie way.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, I get so scared every time I leave the house because it's not, like, your typical clothing that you see everywhere. And I'm so scared of getting shamed from it because, like, my entire childhood, I've just had anything that's, like, not up to, like, general people's standards. I've been shamed for it and I've been made fun of for it. So I'm just so terrified to leave the house in anything other than the bog standard, like, joggings and, like, sleeves, normal t-shirt.
Yeah, like it's so hard, especially like getting bullied for what you wear. Like, not even because you're showing off your body, bullied because it's not what other people think are normal, you know?
Mm-hmm. And yeah, and then like when you wear like sweatpants and like a sweatshirt, they'll be like, you look lazy, you look homeless.
Yeah.
You look like a potato.
You look like a potato. Like, it's like, you know, if you have shoulders, it's fine, just cover them up, don't show them off. But then if you have small boobs, it's fine. But if you have big boobs, don't show them off because that's bad.
Yeah.
And then if you can have a belly, just don't show it off either. And then like if you have a butt, that's fine. Just make sure that it's not a big that it's not a big butt because then you're showing it off.
Yeah.
And then you can have legs, but just don't show that off either. Or kneecaps. I don't like kneecaps either. Oh, they're too distracting. Girl, it is a limb. It's just a limb.
But like,
I'm sorry.
I've never been ever attracted to
You can have thighs, but if they're too big, then cover them up.
Exactly. Like, if you don't have a thigh gap, go to wear trousers.
Never seen that before. Like, it's all we all have the same body parts. I mean,
I used to be so insecure about not having a thigh gap. Because girls in my school all had like 2 inches in between their thighs.
Same.
I used to go home, cry and self-harm myself because I was like so jealous of these girls for having 2 inches in between their thighs in their leggings and stuff. And mine would touch.
It took me years to accept that my legs would just always look like that because of dance. But like, the fact that came from other people and from teachers being like, you shouldn't wear skirts like that, it's not flattering.
yeah,
When I'm in like year 4, which is like your grade 3, like, that's crazy.
like grown adults telling little kids, little children, minors, might I add, that like they're too distracting for literal adults.
Yeah, like why are you even looking?
They're teachers, they should be caring for us, not like putting us down.
Yeah, they should be educating us.
Exactly.
I had one teacher once. She was like the best teacher I've ever had. She used to hype me up when I came to school in my cute outfits. She would be like, "Ooh, girl, you look good." And I'd be like, "Oh, thank
And
you."
that's what the counselors do here, and it makes me feel so loved.
I
and
know.
accepted.
The counselors at French Woods Festival are actually the
This place
best.
has brought me up more than like any other school I've ever been to ever.
Like, especially our bunk. Like, with our outfits, we're all like, "Ooh, you look good."
You can wear whatever you want here, which I didn't expect when I came from Spain, because I thought there was going to be a dress
I
code.
thought there was going to be a dress code. And I was like
Yeah.
terrible at packing my clothes because I was like, what if I get here and I get dress code and none of my clothes work? What am I supposed to wear?
Yeah.
I can't just get my mum to ship me clothes.
Yeah, and then like I was literally because like I was back home and I was just looking at the list and I didn't see any restrictions whatsoever. I was like,
I was so surprised.
yeah,
And girls here like dress a lot different than I was expecting. But anyways, this has been On Period. We love you guys. Feel great about yourselves. Bye.